Hey everybody, it's me again.
Hello me, it's me again.
David again, and today I'm going to talk about drywall screw guns. Cordless drywall screw guns. Because I had a friend of mine, personal friend of mine, one Justin Dow, who let me know that he wants to hang drywall in his garage with a DeWalt cordless drywall screw gun. I'm like, wait a minute, you might want to think about Makita. He's like, are you sure, Makita? I'm like, well, let me do a comparison. And since doing DeWalt Makita comparison, his choice, my choice, why not throw in a couple others? I love Milwaukee, Ryobi. I'm putting this one in here because it's the highest rated in RPM. I have to check it out. I'm so curious about it. Now, I've had my share of screw guns in the past, but they've all been corded because I am semi-retired from drywall after 30 years, full-time 20 years, last 10 years I do it on the side, so I'm semi-retired from drywall, and the tools have come a long way, and I've never used a cordless drywall screw gun, so I want one myself. And not only am I going to recommend to Justin Dow, I'm going to keep one of these because I never had them before. Like I said, now I have four. I'm only can keep one. I can only keep one. I can't afford all this. I have four, but I can only keep one. The other three are going back. I want to make that absolutely clear. These were not given to me. I'm not sponsored by anybody. This is my own hard-earned money at work right here, right now. So without further ado, let's get started and let me show you the models that I'm using. First off, if this thing will focus, DCF 620, made in China. All of these are made in China but one. I'll show you that in a second. There's a DCF 620. RPMs 0 to 4,000. 0 to 4,000 RPM. Next up, we have the Makita. What is this? The XSF03. Assembled, if I can name this right, assembled in USA. True story. Next up, we have the highest rated RPM, the Ryobi P225. Made in China, 0 to 4,700 RPM. That is breakneck speed. Next we have the Milwaukee. If I can get this thing to focus, if I can see it, it is the 2866-20, also made in China by Milwaukee. This came in a kit. This did not, it does, but I already have the charger and batteries. Basically, they're all 2.0 batteries, okay? That comes in a kit. This does not, this does not, this came in a kit. 2.0, 2.0, 2.0. This is a 1.3, which is 35% less than a 2.0. So I will add or subtract 35% of my findings as we progress. The DeWalt, it comes with a standard charger, not a rapid charger. The DCB112. This I already had, but when you get a Makita drywall screw gun kit, it will come with this rapid charger, the DC18RC, that makes a tune whenever you start to charge or when the charge is finished. Or you can choose not to have that. You just install and uninstall, reinstall within 5 seconds. That'll change the tone. The Ryobi 30-minute charger, the P117, and for Milwaukee, it's the standard, not a rapid charger, just the standard 12 volt, 18 volt standard charger. But all the batteries are now charged. And before I get into more specs, let me just stop messing around here and let me see what these things can do. All right, let's start off with the Milwaukee here. The Milwaukee Fuel. A lock, or it could go push drive, which means it's only going to go whenever the clutch feels pressure. I'm going to go full bore first and see how that does. was operator error. Operator error. Again. Now I'm going to try with the push drive. And one more, why not? Now I'm going to check out the comfort of it reaching down low, because not all drywall is straight ahead. Although, let me point this out, the reason why I'm doing this post is because I have 4 different brands, 4 sides. In most rooms there's 4 walls, 1 ceiling, okay? So the majority of your work is going to be on walls going at a horizontal angle, straight ahead. So let me see how this does on full drive. Operator error again. Pretty good. Now let me go into auto mode. Let's see how this does. Could just be because I'm not good at it. Yeah, I'll try that one again. The gun itself is doing good. Whenever I'm messing up, it's because of my post and my whole assembly right here, but I'm getting the gist of it. So let's go to the next one. I'm gonna go Ryobi in full trigger lock, full drive. What? Well, that's not good. Seeing that? The screw's falling off every time before I can even get to the drywall. Holy smokes. Okay, I'm going to go into the push mode drive, which Ryobi calls it quiet drive. I don't know, I'll get that to focus on camera. With the lighting in it, it's called a quiet drive. With the vibration of the motor going, as soon as I go to make contact with the drywall, the screw falls off. That is a big negative. That's not a win at all. Good grief. I don't know about this. Yeah, it seems with the Ryobi, you have to go into the quiet drive or the push drive because the drywall screw is just not going to hang on. I need more material here, more fasteners. And I am using coarse threaded 1 1/8 inch drywall screws. See if we can't get this Ryobi to go correctly. Good grief. I go for the down low, still gravity takes it more than the magnet will hold it. Let's try some more down low for the old Ryobi on the quiet drive. It does get the job done, but that was highly disappointing. Very disappointed in the Ryobi. My heart is broken. Now moving on to the Makita XSF 0 to 4,000 RPM, which by the way, the Milwaukee was 0 to 4,500 RPM. The Ryobi 0 to 4,700 RPM. And as far as the weight of these things, you know, with the battery at the bottom, it's not so bad. It's not that much different than if you had a corded drywall screw gun with an extension cord hanging down. The weight is great. It's not that big a deal. I thought it would be, but turns out it's not. So let me try the Makita here and lock the trigger. Down low. Much smoother, very smooth. Now let me try this with the push drive. Also, duly of note, whenever you're hanging drywall and you want some screws in your left hand, just grab a few. You don't need a big gob of screws in your hand. And again, you don't only want 2 or 3. You should have a tool pouch. You know, just grab a fingerful, put them in the palm of your hand, and go for it. And also, you want to grab it like this. That's why they have these grooves right here, these contours. I'll get into that in a little bit. You know, the old L, you know, like for loser. That's how you want to hold it. If you're driving your screws like this, you need to turn in your man guard and don't hang drywall with a drywall screw gun. You want to hold it like this. So let's see how this push drive does. Definitely save on your battery with the push drive. Down low. I like it. That's the way a screw gun's supposed to operate. That's the way a screw gun's supposed to operate. Moving on to the next one. Let's go for DeWalt. On the DeWalt, I can only go full bore, constantly running. It does not have the push drive technology whatsoever, so I'm just going to trigger lock it and go for it. That's all I can do. That's real nice. Operator error. Again. Down low. Down low some more. I don't know if that's on camera. Now I want to try a technique that some sheetrock hangers I've seen do. They like this jamming motion. I don't know if these push drive things can handle it, which again this one does not have, But I just want to know if these cordless screw guns can handle that jamming motion. That's not my technique. It's not really necessary. The tool should be doing the work. But let's just see if I can do that. I don't know. Things may run amok here. Jam number one. Seems to handle it fine. Let's see how the others can do. Let's try the Milwaukee in push drive mode. See if it can handle the jamming motion. Not so much down low. Could be the operator though. Yeah, it can handle it. It's just my technique. Next. See what happens. Kudos to the Ryobi. Alright, it held up. Alright, let's try the Makita jam. And one more. Beating up my workbench, but yeah, they all handle it just fine. Another cool thing about drywall screw guns, if you take that nose cone off, the one that's normally on here, and remove that magnetic drive that it comes with, as long as you have a hex drive bit, they can double as a drill driver. Watch this. Not recommended because these things 4,000 plus RPM. That's smoking fast. You don't want to use it for precision work, that's for sure. Check this out. All the way through. That's 4x4 pressure treated pine right there. Let's try it with the Ryobi. Same 1/2 inch paddle drive. No problem. The Makita. It's fun. The DeWalt. Same 1/2 inch pedal. All of them made it through. Pretty cool. See, they can double as a drill driver, but not for precision work. 4,000 plus RPM, breakneck speed. Alright, now let's talk about some boring yet relevant stats, okay? Yes, I want the tools all running right here because my first category is runtime. I'm ranking them all 1 through 4, 4 being the worst. Thumbs down. The DeWalt. No, sorry, take that back. Starting from worst to first. Sorry, Ryobi, you rank last. 25 minutes with no load, no push drive. That's why they're all running. The Ryobi, 25 minutes. But every 4 minutes, it will hesitate to let the operator know, hey, you left your tool running. And also to save on battery. Well, that really doesn't save on battery when it just hesitates. Just to let you know, hey, you left your tool running. Alright, the push drive I'm sure will save on that. Next verse is number 3, Makita, 36-minute runtime. But every 6 minutes it will auto shut off. And not to mention the push drive function will help save battery, but I'm not doing a push drive here. This is complete, full, no load runtime. The Makita is 36 minutes with a 6-minute auto shut off. Number 2, DeWalt, 40-minute runtime, 40 minutes with a 10-minute auto shut off. And number 1, Milwaukee, 52-minute runtime, no auto shut off. It will not shut off regardless, but it doesn't matter with a 2.0 fully charged battery, no load, it's going to run you 52 minutes. Alright, my next category is charge time for the batteries versus their charger. Again, from worst to first. Number 4, Ryobi, 34 minutes. Granted, I've been using a 1.3 amp hour and the others are 2 amp hour. Still, I'm adding 35% to, say that it's a 2.0 battery, which is 35% more battery. And also back on the runtime, said Ryobi was a 25-minute runtime. That was adding 35% for the 2.0 battery. It's even less for the 1.3. But back to the charge time, Ryobi 2.0 battery, 34 minutes on a 30-minute rapid charger that you have to buy separately. Next, Milwaukee, 42-minute charge time on a standard charger that the kit comes with. If you want faster charge time, you got to get a rapid charger, and that only takes 25 minutes. But I'm working with what these kits came with, or will come with, barring the Ryobi. It's not going to come, I can't find it in a kit. If you can, leave it in the comments down below, let me know. I can't find it. But the Milwaukee, yeah, 42 minutes on the charger that it comes with. Second best, DeWalt, 40 minutes on the standard charger that it comes with. And number 1, Makita with its rapid charger, 26 minutes. Now, I did go ahead and use a standard charger on the Makita just to compare it to the other standards, and that one takes 46 minutes. Alright, which it doesn't come with a standard charger. If you get a Makita Drywall screw gun kit, you will get the rapid charger for 26-minute charge time. So again, number 4, Ryobi, 34 minutes. Milwaukee, 42 minutes. DeWalt, 40 minutes. Makita, 26 minutes. Which takes me to the next category of runtime versus charge time. Number 4 was Ryobi, coming in last. Sorry to say, these are just facts. Because if it takes 34 minutes to charge your battery versus a 25-minute runtime, that's almost a 10-minute overlap of charge versus running. That's 10 minutes of downtime unless you get more batteries. And I'm talking about what, well, it doesn't come with batteries, but I'm trying to avoid having to get more items or accessories versus what you're starting with. So the Ryobi comes in dead last. Number 1, it does not come with anything else, and you're going to have on a 2.0 battery like the others are, 34-minute runtime charge time with a 25-minute runtime. It's almost 10 minutes of downtime unless you have more batteries or a higher amp hour battery, which adds to the weight, which is a whole nother category I'll get into in a second. So Ryobi came in last, sorry. Coming in third place, the DeWalt. Now this thing is almost up to snuff. It's dangerously close because the charge time versus run time is 40 minutes on both. So if it takes 40 minutes to run versus 40 minutes to charge, that's running dangerously close unless you have another battery or a higher amp hour battery, which adds to weight. But I'm not dealing with higher amp hour. I'm talking about 2.0 amp hour batteries. You're going to have a third one, so that's more stuff you're going to have to get, or a rapid charger, which is something else you're going to have to get. The Ryobi, it does have the quiet drive or the push drive that could save you on battery. The DeWalt doesn't have that option. You're stuck with 40 charge, 40 run. That's an awful chance to take. You're gonna have to get a battery or a faster charger. Coming in second place is the Makita. The Makita comes in at number 2 with a 26-minute charge time versus a 36-minute run time. So you're 10 minutes on the positive. You're still running for 10 more minutes while your battery on the side has already charged. It's good to go for 10 minutes before your initial one, your primary battery, is gonna die. So that's good. Now you're above that ceiling of dead time versus run time. So that's good. Number 1 is Milwaukee. That Milwaukee, even without the auto stop, and it does have the push drive, 42-minute charge time, all right, with a 52-minute run time. So again, you're on that 10-minute plus side. So that's good. You know what I mean? That puts Milwaukee just, you can't beat it. 52-minute run time. And that's on a standard charger. 42-minute charge time versus 52-minute run time. That's 10 minutes to the positive on a standard charger. If you have the rapid charger, that increases it that much more. Now you're talking a 52-minute run time. With the rapid charger, only 25-minute charge time. So Milwaukee wins that. Next thing we go to is the weight. I'll get into that in just a second here. Let me adjust this. Okay, weight. Again, coming in last. This is heaviest to lightest. This is the heaviest screw gun of the 4. This thing's got some beef to it, without a doubt. The next one is the Makita. That's the next lightest, although it is comparable to number 2, Ryobi. The Ryobi is lighter. Slightly, I mean just slightly. And then number 1, DeWalt, is the lightest weight. This is a tool that you're going to be carrying all day long, at least on a day's project, hanging drywall in your garage, let alone making a living. You want the lightest weight one possible, along with other options that we're going over here today. Ergonomics, you want it comfortable in your hand. If it's heavy, at least the ergonomics can make up for it by being bodily friendly. You know, as long as it doesn't wear you out by holding it. And as far as ergonomics, the worst one I have to say is the Ryobi. Even though you hold it, you know, with your L7, the indentions to accommodate your hands and your palm and all that, it's almost straight compared to the other ones. It's in a different class. It doesn't really belong here, but again, it was the RPMs I had to compare. Again, so Milwaukee, the next one, now it starts getting close. It's the Milwaukee. It's got the indentions, it's got the roundness for the dish of your palm, if you want to call it that. It's almost there. It's better than a Ryobi, I will say that. It's not enough really to make up for the weight, in my opinion. Now the next one would be the DeWalt. It's very similar to the Milwaukee. The indentions for your first 2 fingers versus the palm, I say the indentions for the DeWalt are deeper than that of the Milwaukee, so therefore it puts your palm more comfortably onto the butt of the handle. That's what it's all about right there. But number 1, I gotta say, is the Makita. I mean, this thing is just lovely. The indentions for your fingers are just second to none. I mean, it puts your hand in there. That makes up for the weight, which the Makita came in 3rd for the weight, but it definitely comes in number 1 for ergonomics to compensate for that. So that is worth it. Next is balance. Let me straighten these up here for you, and let's see how they just stand on their own. Not that this is really a buying or selling point, but it's just how it works in your hand when you're going around in different angles throughout the day. You want it balanced. And coming in last is the Milwaukee. I mean, it's just it's so heavy, it's so front heavy, and the ergonomics don't make up for it. the balance, I'm sorry, is just not really there. But the DeWalt, that's about ready to fall over right here. I mean, number 2 is the Ryobi. The base versus the top, the balance in your hand. The battery makes it a little off balance, but that makes up for a lot right there in balance. But the number 1 is the Makita. As far as balancing your hand, how does it feel on your wrist and your forearm? That is number 1, without a doubt. The Milwaukee, it's front heavy, not enough to make up for it on the base. The DeWalt is number 3. Pretty balanced, but still top heavy. The Ryobi, again, it's bottom heavy, but you're gonna have to be compensating for it. The Makita, it's in the center of your hand, without a doubt. Now I'm gonna go into overall build quality. For me, the Ryobi coming in last. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. It will get the job done, but like say the clutch slack of pressure versus clutch engagement, it's a lot of slack right there. The nose cone got a lot of wiggle to it, and that's just loose pieces. The depth setter itself is more of a dial. There's no positive stops at all. And once you get your depth set when hanging drywall, you want it set for the day, for the job, or for all time. Once you get that depth set right, because you want to dimple the paper of the drywall, you don't want to break the paper, you don't want it too shallow, because then the drywall finishing won't be smooth, and you need that positive stop. And this is more of just a dial. There's no positive stops right there. Take the nose cone off. Now if you can see what that's made of, it's got mostly plastic in there. There is some metal to it on the very front. I think that might just be stainless steel, but the rest is all plastic. It does have, was it 3 half sphere stops or retention. You know, it's not really a ball detent, it's more of like a sphere detent. It does hold the nose cone on. As far as the clutch housing, you have four screws holding the housing in, tamper proof. But and the magnet, my goodness, the magnet, you're supposed to be able to have a screw, your fastener. And you saw it earlier when I was running the drywall screws into the drywall. They were just falling off while it was on constant run. Just that, it's not vibration in the hand, but I don't know, just the motor running and the screws are falling off. No, the build quality just is not there when it comes to hanging drywall. Third, now again, this is close. The Milwaukee, because even though it does come with the nose cone, positive stops, pull off the nose cone, it's got good lubrication in there, almost overly done. It has 2 spherical stops, only 2, along with only 3 tamper-proof screws to house the clutch. It does seem to have a plastic coated magnesium nose cone. You can see that there is definitely metal in there, but also it's coated, it seems, in plastic. That could be magnesium also, I'm not sure, or aluminum, but it seems to be plastic. As far as this is the business end of your tool, and yeah, it's better than the Ryobi, but I don't know as far as compared to the other ones. The magnet is fine. That's what's supposed to happen. You have a screw in your hand, you know, it should be able to pick it up, no problem. But again, the lubrication of it, there is no quick release for the magnetic drive. You have to get a pair of channel locks or pliers and pull that out. Even the Ryobi, I didn't show you that, does have the quick release. So you just pull this right here, little gray ring, just pull that, and the magnetic drive comes out. The little pansy thing that it is, so anemic. And they all do come with Phillips #2 reduced drive, except for the Makita, which I'm about to get into that. But back to the Milwaukee, again, it does not have a top belt clip. Yes, it does come already installed, the side belt clip, but the way a sheetrock hanger wants to do, they want this thing ready to go on their belt clip, doing whatever they got to do, both hands on the ceiling. They want to go from 180 degrees down, 180 degrees up, and screw. You have to go down, around, and up. Now you may think that that's a little thing, but I don't know, maybe I'm old school. I just like the belt clip right there, ready to go. You could also get like a hanging hook, but again, it's that extra move you got to do for every piece on the ceiling. And when you're working drywall ceilings, your day's already bad enough. You don't need extra motion. You just want a 180 up, 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 twist, up. No upper belt clip. So that's a negative in my opinion, which the Ryobi does have. It's got that. But moving on to #2 build quality is the DeWalt. Again, no upper belt clip. That's a negative, but it does have a great nose cone right here. But first, before I take it off, you got a screw in your hand, or if you dropped it, this is just a testament to how bad Ryobi's magnet is. It's just horrible. It should hold a screw no matter the angle with whatever, you know, no problem. Here seems to have a magnesium tip or aluminum. I'm not sure which, but it is definitely metal. Positive stops. I mean, that is a positive stop, and it's not going to come off unless you twist and pull. According to these padlocks, you twist to the way of unlock and pull. That's about as friendly as it gets. And it does have the quick release detent right there. So, and definitely has 4, 1, 2, 3, I can't really see it, 4 tamper-proof screws to hold in the clutch housing, so that's a plus. And yeah, the quick release, it's all plastic inside here. The 3-inch magnetic drive, pretty good, which is pretty standard. Most of them do come with a 3-inch magnetic drive, unlike the Ryobi, which is just a nub. I don't understand their build quality. Now, which takes me to #1, the Makita in build quality. Comes with that belt clip right here. It's got nice overmolding. It's not the same overmolding as your grip. This is more the fiberglass reinforced, much like the collar of the nose cone depth setter, which takes me to the positive stops on it. Not as solid as the DeWalt, but it is good. Look at all that metallic tip right there. That thing is ready to run and last, not a problem. Pops on and off, not too bad. It has a metal ring right here with a single detent. I would say that that's its flaw. The tip came with a standard #2 bit. All of these other ones came with a #2 Phillips reduced tip, which is favorable to drywall screws and framing screws. This one came with a standard all-purpose #2 and stuck in almost every screw I ran until I changed it out. I know I'm trying to stick with what these things come with, and if I had the worst thing to say about this Makita is that bit that it came with. It stuck and glued in almost to every screw. I had to pry it out until I changed it out to the grabber number 2 reduced. That solved that problem. And here's more look at the metal innards of the nose cone. I don't know if you can really see it, but it's metal from this point right here on in. From this point on in, it is all metal. Absolutely 100%. The only thing that's fiberglass reinforced is this right here. The rest is all metal, whether it be magnesium or aluminum. Again, I'm not sure, but I love it. That thing, and this is all magnesium as well. The whole housing. You have 3 screws, 3 big Phillips / flathead drive screws. This thing is built to last for absolute years. Years and years, regardless of the abuse. There's no plastic under here, none. The only thing that's plastic from the motor forward is just your depth setter. That's it. So as far as build quality goes, Makita is number 1. And again, with the magnetic, you know, that's just a testament to how bad Ryobi was. Sorry, Ryobi. Moving on, that takes care of the build quality. RPM. Now, as you saw me driving the screws earlier, you can see at 4,000 plus RPMs, really when it comes to 4,000 or 4,200, blink of an eye, breakneck speeds, it's a blink of an eye. It's like a full blink versus a 3/4 blink. I mean, it's fast. So it really didn't matter, turns out. But the worst one is the Makita at 4,000. I really shouldn't say that's worse. It's just the least amount of RPMs. 4,000 RPMs, which is still smoking fast. 4,400 on the DeWalt. Let's see. 4,500 on the Milwaukee and 4,700 on the Ryobi. So it's Makita 4,000, DeWalt 4,400, Milwaukee 4,500, and Ryobi at 4,700. But at over 4,000 RPMs, you know, pretty much over 3,600 RPM, really, it's just blinding speed. Turns out the 4,700 RPM is not as much of a factor as I thought it might be. So at this point, I'm ready to remove Ryobi from the equation altogether, but not yet. We have more to go. The nose cone, I just went over that. The worst was Ryobi without a doubt. The Milwaukee could use some improvement. I mean, the spherical detent, half sphere detents, is only 3 of them. There is 3 ball detents inside there. So that's not totally terrible. That can make up for the 2 here, but there's no quick release. But it's not about the drive. It's more about the nose cone in this category. But without a doubt, Makita is the second best. DeWalt is the best with their positive lock right here. And it's not coming off unless you twist that. It is held on there with a retention ring. It's metal from this point forward. And around here, that's all plastic right here. But it is fiberglass reinforced. And the positive stops on the depth setter. It's not going to move. Like I said, once you get that depth set right for your screw heads, you don't want it to move for the rest of the day or for the tool's life for that matter. The LED light, kind of interesting on here. There's really no worst to first. It's just facts. The DeWalt is set at the base and it stays on for 20 seconds once you release it. 20-second LED light. The Makita at the base, they're all at the base. That stays on for 10 seconds. Oh, another cool thing about the Makita here, stop blinding you, sorry about that. It does have a fuel gauge at the base for the battery, which that stays on for 1 minute as well. I don't know if I can shade that for you at all. That right there is the only one of the four that has a fuel gauge on the base. And that stays on for 1 minute until you use it the next time. It will go off automatically after 1 minute. Pretty cool. The only one with dual fuel gauges. One on the battery and one on the tool itself. The Ryobi at the base also. Stays on for 20 seconds. And of course you have the magnetic plate down here that Ryobi's so famous for. Driving screws, I don't know if you want that on for hanging drywall so much. A lot of vibration going on, but yeah, it's got the magnetic plate, not too bad. Last but not least, we have the Milwaukee for the LED light. Turn it on, goes off after 10 seconds. So LED lighting, they're all at the base. DeWalt 20 seconds, Makita 10 seconds, Ryobi 20 seconds, Milwaukee 10 seconds. But again, Makita is the only one that has a fuel gauge at the base. All right, now sound. This is a sound that when hanging drywall, you're gonna have to deal with all day long. My least favorite one is the Ryobi. It's almost like a deafening scream, and it has to ramp up, but it doesn't matter. It's just, this is what you're gonna hear all day. Third place, Milwaukee. Vast improvement from the Ryobi, I know. I don't know if the microphone on this camera here is going to do it justice, but that's a whine you're going to have to hear all day. It's just in the background, it's like a whine, a squeal. And then the next one would be the Makita. A lot more friendly to the eardrum, I tell you. You're going to hear that all day long, barring the push drive, mind you. Of course, you got your push drive. And then number one is the DeWalt. It just sounds very ear friendly. Go through them worst to first again. It's not really fair because they're on the table. So there you go. Lack of battery wobble. A lot of people say that's not a big deal until you lose connection. Let me tell you that, because I have a Sawzall and that battery loses connection. That's a problem. And the one with the worst battery wobble is DeWalt, believe it or not. I don't know if you can see that. That's the worst one. Oh, and the retention on it is about, it's a single tab. That's approximately 1 inch tab right there holding it in place. But yet it's the worst one. The next best would be the Milwaukee. It has dual tab, and each one of these tabs is about 1/8 of an inch thick, so that gives about 1/4 inch retention total. The next one would be the Makita. Hardly anything there. There's no motion. That thing is in place. Single tab, about a 1 1/4 inch retaining tab. 1 1/4 inch. Not to mention it has the nylon detents on the base to hold the battery in place. Although be it it's not perfect, it's going to last for years and years and years. The best one, finally, Ryobi has a shining moment right here with their stem style battery, which by the way, Ryobi has the widest range of tools stem style battery collection out there. But there is No motion right there. Even with only, on their tabs, a 1/16 of an inch. Tab right here and over here, it's only about a 1/16 of an inch retention on each side, which gives it a total of 1/8 of an inch holding it in place, except for that stem style battery. I mean, it's just in place. Which brings me to my last topic now, is the price point. The one I think for the buck, the worst, for $119, tool only, doesn't even come with the battery nor the charger, rotten magnet, is going to be the Ryobi for $119. The next best would probably be the Milwaukee. Sorry, Milwaukee fans, even though I do like, I didn't mention this on the build quality, that overcoating of the battery. That thing will not slide, scratch, whatnot. It's gripped in place. But for price point at $228 for the kit with two 2 amp-hour batteries, the standard charger, not a deal killer, but to me it's the second worst or third best deal. Second best deal would be the DeWalt at $212, two 2 amp-hour batteries and a standard charger. But this standard charger with a 40-minute charge time versus a 40-minute run time, no push drive, this charger is the deal killer for me. This thing, this DCB112, is just anemic. If it were a better charger, this would be the thing as far as a kit goes. The driving operation of it and everything was just a pleasure. It's balanced fairly well. It's quiet. It doesn't have the belt hook, but $212, not bad for $212. Number one to me is the Makita. Even though it did not come, I got it tool only, did not come with the batteries nor charger. Normally $169, okay? But I got it for $119 at Home Depot, like 50 bucks off. So for $119, top of the line, Makita, you can't beat bang for the buck on that. And it does come in a kit, I think, for $228 with two 2 amp-hour batteries, fast charger, rapid charger, and but just change out that bit though. That's the only complaint I really have about the Makita, is that doggone number 2 regular standard all-purpose bit it comes with. Get rid of that thing and you'll be just fine. Which brings me to my final conclusions, and that is the overall, out of all these categories that I've covered, with the price points, the build quality, charge time, run time, which is huge. You want your charge time down here and your run time up here. The Milwaukee got that. The weight, though, kind of killed it. The ergonomics, but just across the board with all my categories, I rated them 1 through 4, 1 the best, 4 the worst, so the lowest score would win. Ryobi had the highest score at 38. Sorry, Ryobi, you're out. Just as far as drywall screw guns go, just don't do it unless that's all you can do. I mean, just in third place, respectively, Milwaukee at 33 points. The worst you can do, by the way, in this is like 48 points. But Milwaukee got 33. It's powerful. The runtime is second to none. It's got the push drive, but it is heavy. The nose cone ain't the greatest. The build quality, as far as the screws, the tamper-proof screws on the clutch housing, doesn't have the belt clip on the top. It's good. The runtime is what's most impressive about the Milwaukee. Oh, and I also did have problems with it on the lower screws. Pretty doggone good tool. If it came with a rapid charger, that might have put it into another league. Now for the winner between this Makita and DeWalt, yeah, I can't believe I'm ranking a DeWalt over a Milwaukee, but this is just what I found. And very close by 3 points, the Makita gets it. I know y'all saying, well, you like Makita anyway. Well, of course I do, and this is yet another reason why. It's got the belt clip, got the overmolding. The DeWalt is quieter, it's lighter. The nose cone is second to none of all these. The runtime of charging versus running is just a deal killer to me. That charger is not going to get it done unless you have to buy another battery. The charge time and run time are almost dead even, and you have to purchase yet another battery or get a better battery charger. The Makita to me is the way to go. And that's my findings on it. Oh, and a quick note too, I don't know if I said this earlier, all of these have trigger locks, and all you have to do is just pull the trigger one more time and it unlocks. That's it. That goes for all of them. Yes, even for the poor lowly Ryobi. It's running and then just, all of them have that, so that wasn't an issue. So there's my findings. I love the extra fuel gauge as well. DeWalt came real close. If I had to recommend to somebody, overall, whether it's to do your garage or make a living, very, very close. I mean, I have to recommend the Makita. And there you go, Mr. Dow, Mr. Credible. That's my findings. The other ones are going back, and this one is a keeper. This has found a home in my garage. Makita yet again. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Hit the like button. Get subscribed if you like this kind of content. Leave a comment down below. Tell me to stick it or whether you love it. Whichever way, man. I appreciate hearing from every one of you. And thanks for watching. And as always, God bless.
Well, me, it's nice talking to myself. A credit to dementia.
It's fun.